Good Wednesday evening to you, folks. How are you? It is good to see you, and it is good to be seen by you. And I, the person being happy doing the seeing and being seen, am, of course, Bill Sylvie, aka the Dungeon Delver, coming to you live on a wonderful Wednesday evening, and we are going to have some fun tonight. Now, if you're one of those folks that likes to see what we do, likes to see what we bring to the table in the literal and metaphorical sense of tabletop gaming here, and not just listen to my talking about classic TTRPG products and interviewing creators and that sort of thing, well, let me tell you, what we're going to be doing tonight is playing some Dungeons and Dragons, some classic Dungeons and Dragons, but I'm not going to be running the show. I mean, oh, sure, I'll be pushing buttons and flipping switches and twiddling knobs and that sort of thing. But the real ringmaster tonight is going to be my co-host, Kyle Schuant, who I see in the green room over there. He's pouring something out of a bottle into his cup of coffee, I think. Can't quite make it out. But anyway, he and our stable of, well, stable as they can be, of players will be joining us here shortly as we go, not dungeon crawling. No. Although it could happen. You don't know. I don't know. But no, it will be a hexcrawl, a crawl across hexes, an overland adventure, if you will, clearing out wilderness hexes for the auspice of a lord. But you know what? I'm going to let Kyle fill you in on all the fun details there. So this is what we've got going on tonight. Now, tomorrow night, we're free and easy tomorrow night. Tomorrow night's going to be open tabletop discussion time, and I don't know. I'm itching for a deep dive on something, but you'll just have to tune in. You'll just have to find out what it is we're going to be talking about for Classic Tabletop RPG Open Thursday. But here's the thing: if you're just stopping by, if you're watching us over on Twitter, or you're watching us here on YouTube and you haven't already clicked that subscribe button and the bell icon, you won't know. It'll just start to happen. And then you'll be like, oh, I wanted to ask about Realm of Yolmi or Toon or Watership Down, the RPG. Bunnies and Burrows. That's what I was trying to think. Bunnies and Burrows, or Cinnabar, or whatever it is that Bill's going to end up talking about on Thursday. I missed my chance, and now I just have to leave a comment under the video, But I always appreciate comments under the video, even if you watched the video, you participated in all of the online goodness and discussion. Please come back and leave a comment under the video. And if you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And then your comment can be, this is what I liked about your video. If you don't like it, leave a thumbs down and say, this is what I didn't like about your video. And I'll either do more of the stuff you like or less of the stuff you didn't like within reason. Within reason. We've got to be, reasonable about it. Because, if your big complaint is, I don't like your voice, I don't like your video production, I don't like your topics, I don't like your face, I don't like your opening and closing music, change all those. Well, I can't, you can leave that comment. I'm just saying I can't. There's a limited window of things that I can fix within reason, but I will do my best to cater to you because that's just the kind of wonderful person that I am. We've got a lot of fun coming up this week. Now, next Thursday. Well, you know what? Hang on a second. Let's stick a pin in that and we'll circle back around to it. Friday night, regardless of what we do on Thursday night, Friday night, we're going to be playing some classic Gamma World, much in the same format you see tonight. A little bit fewer players, and I'll be game mastering it again. And it's the most fun you can ever watch someone saying 3.6. And then on Saturday, I'm not doing anything here. And the same goes for Sunday. And then Monday, we just kind of start it over again. But next Thursday, John Pompson of Effin' Cool Minis. Now, there's a name we haven't heard in a long time. John Pompson will be here on the show. He's going to talk about his minis company. He's going to talk about a very cool new project he's got going, because there's going to be a Kickstarter. There's going to be game stuff. He's not just making minis anymore, folks. He's breaking out. So I'm looking forward to that. And then that'll take us into October. And boy, howdy, do we have some cool stuff going on in October. We've got Aggie from Brave Alice. He's going to be here. Risa, she actually moved to a different company. Hopefully I can bring her on the show, but no promises. I'm still nattering her. Risa, if you're watching this, love you to pieces. Would love to have you on the show. And Bob Antone will be here in October. Alyssa Hazel will be here in October. Paul Stormberg will be here in October. And I'm hoping that we'll have that we will be blessed and graced by the awesome Laura Daniel in October. If not, then we'll try and get her in for November. We love Laura Daniel around here also. So with all of that said, we have got a very full schedule for you guys of games, gaming. I'll be bringing you guys the interstitial videos, you know. As news happens, I'll bring it forth. Never fear. So just again, if you haven't already, click the subscribe button, click the bell icon for notifications. One other mention about October and about Friday night gaming. I know a lot of you folks who perhaps have joined in the last year are big fans of Call of Cthulhu. And I know a lot of you are big fans of Gamma World. We're going to shelve the Gamma World game for all of October and play a 4-session mini campaign every Friday night in October. Friday, Shocktober, Call of Cthulhu mini campaign. I don't think you're going to want to miss that. So I'm really, really looking forward to doing that. But that's then. We have business to attend to now. And the guy who's about to give us the business is he's more than just a co-host. He's not just someone who, you know, said your show would suck without me on it anymore. That's true. But, you know, I didn't just throw an ad in the Melbourne Times or whatever down there in Australia and say, I need somebody to wake up at 9:00 on their Thursday morning and hang around with nerds on the American internet. No. He's a good friend of mine. He's one of those awesome kind of people who you just, you know, I'd like to think that we'd have met without the internet, but I don't know how true that may or may not be. But the fact remains, he's here. He's going to be running some Dungeons and Dragons for us tonight. So I'm going to put my headphones on. And I am going to welcome this gentleman into our respective living rooms. Everybody, please put your hands together for the one and only Mr. Kyle Schuant. Kyle, how are you?
Yeah, right. Another rainy day in Melbourne, but things are good.
Excellent, my friend. Excellent. I'm glad you're here, and I'm sure you've got some fun stuff in store for us tonight. So, in the inimitable words of co-pilot Scott Skiles, your aircraft.
Cheers. Okay, I'm just going to, because I'm going to be looking around at my different computer screens and books and that, I'm just going to turn my camera off. Normally I
Okay.
like people's cameras on so I know, because when you're not familiar with people's voices, you want to know who's talking. So if you can see their faces on the screen, you have to. But I'm the only Aussie here, so I think you'll know when I'm talking.
Indeed.
All right, let's add the players on and let them introduce themselves. Vinny first up.
Mr. Nota Bartolo, welcome to the show.
Hey, greetings.
Introduce yourself and your character, Vinny.
Oh, I am Vinny Finnegan. I am a human thief, and I have gained a little bit of XP from killing wolves and slaying a few other things.
All right. And Safi?
Hello, I'm Sapphire. You may know me from such hits as our Aussie friend, Conflict, Traveler, and now Hexcrawl. I'm also a highlight occasionally with my snorts on Gamma World. I play Shandera. She is a cleric.
All right. Now let's add in Dougal.
Hey, I'm Lord Koron. I'm playing Dougal Maxon, and first level fighter, and he has 2 kills right now. That's the important fact you need to know about him.
Alrighty, and lastly, but not leastly, Midland by TV Flowers.
Hello all, I've got a first level magic user, trying not to get killed too early. Otherwise, I like nice strolls in the wilderness and studying books.
Alrighty. Bill, finally your character, and Bill, you can just give us a little rundown of what's happened in the campaign so far.
All right. I am playing Bob the Fighter. He is neutral, and he has killed more flies than he has monsters, but I've also contributed to a fair amount of monster death. We are currently stationed in, well, we are currently hanging around a small village and slowly but surely hacking and slaying our way, carrying forth sword and torches to clear out hexes one at a time. In our first adventure, we ran across a band of bugbears and did for them, removing their ears and heads. Our next, it almost cost us our lives, but hey, that's what happened. We then went and fought some wolves, which was likewise exciting, and got some wolf pelts. And currently we have slain some elk, and we are standing before a mysterious plinth, which we are examining.
Well, you had gone back to the village, but yeah.
Had we gone back to the village? Okay, I was missing
Yeah.
the going back to the village.
You went back to the village to take the elk, remember?
Oh,
Elk
that's
barbecue.
right. Yes.
Yeah.
We took the elk to the farmer. Thank you. A
Otherwise,
couple of pages fell out of my script. My apologies.
Otherwise, it would have taken you quite some time to cook it out there. On the grassy plains, there's not many trees, so it would have been a lot of chasing around bits of wood and that to cook it all up. Plus, the thing weighs 1,500 pounds, about half of which is usable meat. That's probably a bit more than your party needs for a couple of days out in the wilderness.
Maybe for them.
You'd all be doing one of those, one of those Texan steak challenges where they give you like this 5-pound steak or something, and
Tomahawk elk steaks.
but you'd be doing it for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every day for a week, so. Sean asked, what about the antler helm? Well, the antlers are a bit large for just a helm, but you can have a bit of an antler on it, but yeah. Okay, so yes,
The
you're
hide,
back,
we
all,
should
all
get
back
some
in the
good
village.
stuff out of the hide.
Now, we just have to clear up one little rule confusion. So, in D&D, your characters, or in the proper version of D&D, Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, your characters have a limited number of spells a day that they can cast, which goes up with level. In the beginning, it's just one spell per day. There may be exceptions when you're a cleric. You get some bonus spells each day. You have to decide which spells you're going to memorize. Now, clerics have got it relatively easy. They've got access to every spell. So a first level cleric has access to every first level spell. The cleric still has to decide which they're going to memorize each day, but they have access to them all. A magic user is a bit different. They only have access to the spells that are physically in their spellbook. Cleric doesn't have to carry around a spellbook. They just pray to their god or gods, and then they get their spells. The magic user, though, has to consult their spellbook. I don't know. They're kind of an absent-minded professor, and they forget things each day or something. I don't know. Now, the Dungeon Master's Guide, page 39, which no player should look at, of course, but just for your reference. Inform those players who have opted for the magic user profession that they have just completed a course of apprenticeship with a master who was of unthinkably high level, at least 6th. Having been a relatively apt pupil, worked diligently and made every effort to please master, or mistress as the case may be, was kind enough to prepare a special present for the character before he or she goes out into the world to seek his or her fortune. At this juncture, request the player to ready a piece of paper which will go into his or her records as a permanent fixture. Instruct the player to entitle the page, First Level Spells Known. While the intelligence of the player will dictate how many and which spells can and be and are known, this knowledge is not automatic. Each and every spell, except those which Master was generous enough to bestow upon the character, must be found somewhere and recorded in the character's spell books. Thus, if Redulent the Prestidigitator, Intelligence 15, has a repertoire of 7 spells and finds a scroll with yet another, there is a 65% chance that the spell can be understood by that worthy. If, in fact, it can be comprehended, Redulent must then record the spell in his book, thus destroying that portion of the scroll, of course, and he is now the proud possessor of 8 first-level spells, just 3 short of the maximum he'll be able to know. Returning to the recently completed apprenticeship, let us now consider the spells given to Redulent by his wise old master. Obviously, an apprentice must know how to read magic to be of use to his master. It is also an absolute must to anyone following the profession of magic user, so that spell is automatically on each magic user character's list of known spells. So sure enough, you can write down read magic. Then select by random means 1 spell each from the offensive, defensive, and miscellaneous categories listed below. Redulent or any other player character magic user will then have a total of 4, count them, 4 spells with which to seek his or her fortune. You also, when you level up, you get 1 more each level. Aside from that, it's just a matter of what you find on your adventures or can bargain from other, beg, borrow, or steal from other magic users. So, sure enough, having written down read magic, you need to roll a 1d10 for which offensive spell you get.
Four.
4. You get the spell Friends.
Woohoo! I need friends.
Yeah, no one ever told you it would always be that way. So go ahead and roll again.
But how
And
many?
then 1 defensive spell. A 1d10.
Oops. 9.
Ventriloquism.
Hey, look over there.
And 1 miscellaneous spell.
9 again.
Right.
Woohoo! I'm an author. Thank you.
Well, it lets you write magical scrolls.
Dear
You write
magical
magic
pen
and-
pal.
Yeah. So you
Well-
may wish to look up these spells so you can be familiar with what they do and the magical components, if any, for those spells to ensure that you have the components on hand. Because it would be rather embarrassing to, try to cast, for example, jump and not have the little cricket in your pocket to crush.
Yes. Write is a very handy spell because, like, let's say we find a scroll that's got like 2 ninth level spells on it. Normally you can only copy spells that are at your level or lower. Write enables you to attempt to copy spells that you may not be able to know right now. Of course, if a saving throw versus magic is required while you're writing, and if you fail, it could blow your hands off. You take like 2 points for every spell level higher the spell was than you're. So that wish that you tried to write as a first level magic user could literally delete you from existence.
Just pray I don't lose my magic ring finger.
That may be all that's left if you try and write a high enough level spell and fail.
Alrighty. So, clear enough, TB Flowers?
Got it. Already, friends.
Alrighty. So, okay. So I think it's nice for the listeners who aren't regular AD&D players to get familiar with some of these old rules. And then over time, we'll see the utility, because I find many people on discussion forums will argue about these rules, and when you inquire more closely, you discover they've never actually played. So many things which don't make sense when you read the book make a lot more sense in play. And vice versa. It might make a lot of sense when you read the rules, but then you play it and you go, that doesn't work. I need some different rules. So this is why games have to be played. Seems obvious, but, apparently not to everyone. Alrighty. So, you're all in the village of Zoc, which I'll add to the stage now so you guys can see the little map. Zoom in a bit more closely.
Belly's full of elk.
Belly's full of elk, yes. Everyone will have healed up
Woohoo!
to their full
I've got
hit
my
points.
elk horn helmet, of course.
And you are now free to adventure further. Now, you do want to adventure and gain some treasure, because at this point you are unable to afford the lifestyle appropriate for adventurers. Because Bill, remind us of how much you're meant to spend each month as an adventurer.
Each month, it is considered 100 gold per level is just automatically spent. That's rent, access to bathhouses, little party here, little drinking and carousing, some companionship perhaps. It gets more expensive. The more money you've got, the more money people know you've got, and the more they charge for things. These are gold rush prices,
Yeah, well, I just read the other day about there was a guy who'd sold his mansion for $79 million or something, some mansion in Brazil, and he was suing his real estate agent because his real estate agent, the mansion had originally been listed for $85 million, but the real estate agent bargained him down. And during this bargaining process, the guy said, "Jeff Bezos has a mansion next door to mine. Are you sure he's not the one buying? Because if he's the one buying, I'm going to hold out for a higher price." And the agent said, no, not at all, not at all. And then, of course, it turned out that it was Jeff Bezos buying it, and so he could knock it down and have more garden or something. And so now he's suing that agent. Now, had he known, so now you guys are far from Jeff Bezos, but yeah, it's like the restaurant in the rich part of town. Your presence makes it a richer part of town. So, and at the moment, you guys don't have 100 gold a month each. So you can't even live like first level guys. You're living like 0 level guys.
Yeah, sleeping in the street.
You
That's
got
why we're
you got
camping without a
an image
tent.
to hold. Yeah, that's right. You've got a tent in the field behind the weaver and the tailor's place. So you got an image to uphold, guys. You've got to get out there and adventure, and so you can afford it.
Somebody told me there was ruins out here full of treasure, so I guess we better go find some of that now.
So we got to be blingy. Is that what you're saying?
Pretty much. But you know, there was that that mina, that plinth out there inscribed with runes, and Schuant had gone out and had a look and determined that you could probably dig under it and find, and there might be something underneath there.
Yeah, let's go look under the rock.
We did want to get digging tools. That's right. Is that something the smith has on hand, or could have made
Yeah,
up during
the village has
week?
plenty of things to dig with. I mean, it's a farming village.
Okay, let's get like 8 shovels or something like that. Something we can get the man at arms on.
Exactly. These hands don't touch dirt.
I need a shovel for me because I got to show the man at arms that, you know, I'm their guy. But whatever.
I'm one of you. I'm one of you.
That's why you should do what I say.
Now, where are we?
Yeah, can we see the hex map at all, or?
Yeah, I'm just bringing it up.
Savo says, everybody must be braver than I. I'd be unlikely to overcharge a group of lavishly armed campers. I can just see Feifel saying, you guys want to stay in the inn? Come on, right in. Just right here. Take whatever beds you want.
Okay, so that's where the village is. And then just a few miles to the northeast is where you fought the bugbears, where you slew the elk, and also where you found that plinth, the bit of ancient ruin.
The marker.
And then in the mountainous hex beyond, that's where you fought the wolves.
Well, I guess we go to the plinth first, right?
It's nice and nearby.
Yep.
Do we want to borrow a cart now?
I don't see why not.
Yeah, can we borrow a hay cart or some sort of wheelbarrow? I don't know.
After all that barbecue we just fed the town, I'm sure we could borrow one.
No, that's true. Yeah. We'll just tell them we're going to go back and get another elk, and they'll just give us a cart.
Oh, yeah, I'm going to go to the guy that I brought all the elk to and just say, I'm taking your cart. Wheel it out of his yard and push it towards my friends. I got us a cart.
Excellent, Bob. Onward. Where's the
All
dice?
right, somebody commented on the XTML page, so I'm just going to I'll share the link in the comments. It'll be coming through Bill once. That's my blog article, which talks about the Hexcrawl generation method, and that has links to a number of random generators and map generators and all that sort of stuff that I use to make all this. So I just roll everything up, and then I try to tie it together into something more or less coherent. It doesn't have to be perfect. People enjoy it. Its imperfections. Gives them a laugh.
And going all the way back to some of Kyle's earliest appearances on the show before I essentially made him become my co-host, that we have had stupid fun using HexTML to create stuff and populate it. with critters and encounters out of the Dungeon Master's Guide. So it is absolutely worth your time.
Yeah, it's just for it's based on that part of the Dungeon Master's Guide where if you come to an area which you haven't previously drawn up, then just do it randomly. And the implication seems to be that's all right for a session or two. I think it's all right for a whole campaign. So, but we'll see.
Right on.
Alrighty. So, okay, so you're going to head out to that with digging equipment. You can take your men-at-arms again?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Come on, Wolverines, let's go.
Correction,
have
it's Wolverines.
That's what I said, isn't it?
Pluralizing the
Alrighty.
singular.
I just like the image of the militia like not wanting to wear these ratty cloaks either, and we're just arguing over how to pronounce it. Put the cloak back on.
Did you dry clean this first?
What's a dry clean?
No, the militia are quite happy to wear it. There's just 4 of them. Pieter, the old drunk one, he doesn't wear it. And Skirfer, the young one in male, he doesn't wear it either. Because you just had 4. Because there was one wolf which you chased away, and there was another one that you beat into submission. And they're going to make your pet. But that's going to take some months to make it your pet.
I'm going to throw out there dry cleaning is probably throwing it over a line and hitting it with a stick repeatedly.
Yeah, that's dry cleaning in this period.
Oh, may have been dry cleaned then.
Alrighty. Okay, roll for the weather, Dougal. 1d6.
Oh, forbidden. What? Let me refresh here.
Weather.
Yes. Refresh.
There we go.
There we go.
5.
Sweet.
5. It's a warm, sunny, clear day.
Yes.
I like that.
Yep, me too.
Pretty uneventful. No encounter check to that plinth.
Yeah, and first you check the weather, because if there were a random encounter, the weather would affect the range at which you spot them. In clear weather, you can see them at a greater distance. If it's bucketing down raining, or a blizzard or something, you might just, stumble into each other. Actually, you literally trip over each other. So, 2d6 for random encounter. Now, Safi keeps boasting about how she rolls well, so let's see if she rolls high and gives us a
We'll
random.
see. We will see. So it's a 6.
Yeah,
Cool.
a 2d6.
Oh, 2d6. Okay. Well, there's 1. And the second one's a 5. So that's a 6 total.
No random encounter. No wandering monster. You guys are the wandering monsters.
That's right.
Okay. So you come along, and there's still the rotting corpses of the bugbears there. One with a missing head. All of them with missing ears. And
They haven't been picked clean by this point.
no,
It's only
no,
been
it
3
takes time.
days.
No, it's been 3 weeks.
Oh,
it
that's
takes
right.
time.
Yeah, we've had some rest time. Sorry. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would
You've
totally
got-
expect 3 weeks it would be clean, but hey.
Hey,
No, it takes
that's
time.
some rank corpses.
I mean, they might be tasty, so it's only the starving
Oh.
that go there. But
Well, normally things like wolves eat them, but
well,
Funny thing
apparently
about
we
the
killed
wolves-
those too.
We only left the crows.
Oh no, we've ruined this place. An ecological disaster's happening.
We've created. We caused the eocide.
Just
Monster
give it a little
ecology.
while. New things
When
will
my-
move in.
when my son was in, I think, grade 5, the teacher was teaching them about invasive species and things like rabbits and foxes in Australia and so on. And the teacher said that we who are descendants of the colonial settlers also counted as an invasive species. And my son said, doesn't that mean that, the Aboriginals who came 40,000 years ago are also an invasive species? Because you said an invasive species is one which disrupts the current ecosystem. And they ate all the giant wombats and stuff. And the teacher said that was racist. And he went back far enough that pond scum are an invasive species. So he kind of evaded the question. But you are adventurers, so you are definitely an invasive species. And
That's
you definitely
right.
are. You're trying to clear the hexes of monsters, so you are definitely disrupting the local ecosystem.
On purpose.
On purpose, yes. You just have to do it quickly enough that, because if you wipe out one population of monsters, the other population might expand to fill the available space. But, so you have to wipe them out really quickly. Don't just
Or we keep
clear
them
one
in
hex
check, so
a
we
year.
kill a little here and a little there.
Yeah. But if you do it like one hex a year, then, you're not going to solve the overall problem. You're just pushing at the tide. You just got to go rapidly through the hexes.
But it's sustainable adventuring, ecological adventuring.
I'm sure that thought crossed against Gary's mind at any one point.
One mistimed fireball and all that yellow land burns.
Adventurers are a virus, Mr. Anderson. We are the cure.
Dodging crossbow bolts.
Oh my god.
You consume and consume until there's nothing left. Alrighty.
All right, you come up to the plinth with all its strange and ancient runes, and you have your digging equipment, and you have a couple of what's the word? A couple of basically stone tiles that looks like the magic user had prodded at, and who he reckons that you should be able to prize them up. And if there's anything underneath, you'll find it.
Okay. I order the militia to start digging. And I make sure to make the first shovel full, and then I stand around with a shovel directing people.
You're like one of those ministers who has the golden shovel and does the first shovel at a new
Or the CEO of a new
metro tunnel.
I had to do the groundbreaking.
There's
like
a
the
ribbon with a
giant
big pair of
scissors?
scissors.
You should have brought some. You should
Ian
have brought some
showed
ribbon
up-
with you.
Yeah, me and Shonuff need to be out front shaking hands before.
Standing still for a
Do
quick daguerreotype.
Do a
It's
couple
like
of
a hand-painted
poses so the
picture in
artist
the
can,
local-
can do yeah.
Get the camera obscura.
All right. So they quickly prize up the first tile-like thing, and there's kind of a hole underneath, just to the left of it, and it's not large enough for anyone or anything other than like a rabbit or a fox to get down into, but it indicates to you that there's a greater hole beyond. Seems like some sort of rough dirt passage. There's a number of like grass roots under it. Well, I think the term's not roots, but what do they call it? When you got that kudzu grass where the roots like reach out for 30 yards underneath somebody's fence or something.
Creepers.
And then pop.
Yeah.
Runners.
Yeah,
Vines, runners, yeah.
yeah, the ones that go underneath, yeah. So you see that underneath. Keep digging.
I don't see a reason to stop.
Nope.
There might be treasure in them there holes.
Okay,
Till the
so they
vines
keep
come
digging.
alive and kill us all.
They prize up a few of the tiles, and there is indeed a hole going down into the earth, and you catch little glimpses of stone. So it looks like it was about a 4 foot wide by 4 foot high passage, going at about 30 degrees into the earth, but all the grass and other things have sort of grown up over it. because obviously in this passage there'd be water collected, so they're obviously seeking out the water.
Is it a straight
So
path or is it curving down? Or
well, you can't really see because of all the roots and the
Okay.
dirt and everything.
Okay.
You'd have to sort of dig through that to be able to physically fit through. And have a look.
Okay. Well, definitely we need to keep digging. If we haven't already, though, let's set up camp close by. I assume that happened.
Okay, you do a little lean-to, and
Maybe a ditch
Yeah.
around this with the.
and Pieter says, "Oh, I'll get on to making lunch."
That's why we kept you around, Pieter.
Yeah, and he cracks open the ale.
right?
I thought that was a lot fuller when we left.
Alrighty, and so the other men at arms are they dig away at that, and they pull out lots of dirt and grass roots and all the rest, and they eventually come to a dead end. It goes about 10 feet down, like I said, about 30 degrees under, and they come to a dead end, and that seems to be, it's either a stone door or it's the plinth has deep roots, so to speak. Like it's been pushed into the ground further, and you've struck that. So do you want them to dig around it, under it?
I kind of
Or-
cut out there, but
So yeah, so it's gone about 30 degrees down,
okay.
and they've dug out the soil and the grass roots and so on. Like I said, it's a passage about 4 foot wide and 4 foot high,
And then they
and
hit
then
the
it comes
stone.
comes to a dead end, and you don't know if the dead end is a stone door or if it's actually just the kind of the base of the plinth.
Mhm.
So to
I'll
speak.
go down there and
Yeah,
throw
like
my shoulder against it.
Okay, there are hieroglyphs on the plinth. Well, they're runes, Jimmy, but yes, there are. Make an open doors check.
All right. It doesn't budge. It's rock. Won't move. I got back out of the hole.
I'm going to check out the runes, see if I can figure
Yeah.
out anything about them.
Agree.
Well, they're in you recognize them as the language of the ancient empire, but you don't know what they say. A higher level cleric might know, and a thief would have a chance to read languages. And
Could
of course, there's
I-
a spell, comprehend languages.
We have one of those.
Yep. Could I try that?
Well, you need to be higher level.
Oh, okay.
'Cause the,
I look at him like, yep, maybe in a few years I'll be able to figure this out.
Any one
So
of you
if you-
eggheads got
if you-
paper?
Let's pause this for 10 years.
So, Vinny, if you look at page 28 of the player's handbook, you
Uh-huh.
can see the various thief skills, and you see that at level 4 you get a 20% chance of reading languages.
Oh, yeah, I do.
But
right
that's at
now
level
it's
4.
0.
Yeah, all the other stuff you get straight away, though not necessarily at very high
Yeah.
skill level, but you get it. But that comes up 4th level.
Sweet.
Hey, Mr. Game Master, are the runes
Yeah.
carved or are they like painted? Are they a
Yes.
relief?
They're carved.
They're carved. Any one of you eggheads got paper?
Right here,
Parchment?
right here, right here.
Why don't you put it up there and rub a piece of charcoal from the fire on it? That's how we used to get.
Schuant already copied them last time.
Right, but these are underground. Are they the same as what's above? Are they any different?
Oh, you don't see any on the ones that are underground.
Oh, I thought there was
okay.
some underground. Okay.
I thought that's
Oh,
what
sorry.
you're talking about too. Yeah,
My
yeah.
mistake.
Huh.
My mistake was
No
underground.
worries.
That's okay.
I was thinking they were something we hadn't seen yet.
All right. I will just unsay that. And retcon it.
Well, we got the digging tools. We can try digging around it just to see if it is a door or the rest of the plinth.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
reckon
so
some
you-
important dead people's buried here. We should take their stuff.
for safekeeping.
All right, so you continue digging, and around the plinth is a kind of a floor, so to speak. There's kind of a base that's about 6 foot wide around the plinth. As you dig around and uncover spots here and there, you discover this. And then you realize that underneath a lot of the tiles that are up on the ground are some narrower stone pillars. So it's almost as if you had a sort of a ring of stone pillars with a base and a tile or a tiled roof, and then the central pillar. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you're sort of digging down into the guts of it.
And there is dirt above us right now.
Yeah. There's dirt
Okay.
above and around you and that.
There's not a lot of
So-
space. I mean,
Now
it's
a
still
whole
4 by 4.
excavation project.
Yeah.
Would I think that this could be a temple possibly that was buried?
Yeah, it certainly has that kind of appearance to it. Yeah. But I mean, temples and tombs, there's often an overlap between the two.
Well, do we want to spend all of our time digging up these ruins, or do we want to come back later?
Paid for
I
the
think-
shovels and stole the cart fair and square. Let's dig. Excuse me, borrowed the cart.
We dug one tunnel from above under one of the stones. Did we look under all the stones?
That is a like I said, that is a physical tunnel that was present already. There's a bunch
Okay.
of stones.
Hmm.
So it looks like if this was all originally above ground, if you kind of mentally raise it all like 8 feet,
Right.
then this would have been sort of not stairs up to a roof, but a ramp up to a roof.
All
So
right.
we do have a thief, so I'm going to say maybe our more cognitive associate could look for possible doors.
Rabbit Wrangler Bill asks, why do thieves get read languages?
Thieves get
I
read
believe
la-
it's.
Go ahead, Carl. I'm sorry.
I think it comes from just the literature of Farford and the Grey Mouser and all that sort of stuff, where thieves wanted to be able to read obscure old languages so they'd know what was valuable and could hunt down treasure.
Oh yeah. And Fafard and Mouser were far from dumb. They in fact stole a cottage, like they physically stole it from an estate and moved it across the city of Lankmar and stashed it in an abandoned alleyway, and found a delightful collection of adult literature, which they enjoyed for quite some time. So Fafard and Mouser, Fafard was before he left his village, Fafard was a skald. He was highly trained in storytelling and legend keeping and that sort of thing. Mouser was an apprentice of a magic user. So that is where that's drawn from. Kyle has the right of it.
So when you read all the old pulp sci-fi and fantasy stories of the probably 1930s to 1970s, you see a lot of similarity, and you see where a lot of advanced Dungeons and Dragons and classic Traveller and RuneQuest and so on come from.
Yeah.
Starts to make a lot more sense.
There's the scene in Conan the Barbarian, which of course postdates the creation of AD&D, but when Conan is being raised up, all manner of writings and poetry was made available to him. So
Yep.
So there you go.
Okay, so you dig down and around, and you do indeed find something that resembles a door. Like you find an edge, a crack, and that crack goes in an archway, sort of a shape, into this plinth, which is quite broad at this point. And the plinth's about 6 foot wide at this point. Once you dig around, you see that it's become wider. So it's more like a cone than a big pole. Yep, so you do find, but it's completely unmarked.
I mean, I think we were looking for a door, so can we get that open?
Yeah, let me try that. Well, no, that would be open locks. I think that would be the fighter.
Well, it's not locked.
Yeah.
Well, you don't see a lock on it anyway.
Hey, check that door. Make sure no blades are going to cut down or darts are going to shoot out. Or
That's a very good idea. Let me try find traps.
Okay.
So that would be a
Let's
percentile.
see.
30%.
Find remove traps. You've got a 20% chance. I will roll for that
Okay.
because you may simply be unaware. You may simply not discover a trap.
Ah.
If it's a trap, you may go, "Oh no, there's nothing there," but in fact there is.
yeah, you are certain there's no trap.
Yes, you are in fact certain there is no trap on this door.
I am certain that he's not found a trap on this one.
Nope, I looked really good. I promise you, there's nothing there that's going to harm us.
Well, Mr. Flowers, to be fair, anyone can find a trap.
Exactly.
It's just finding it before it goes off is the trick.
All characters have the ability to find traps. And after a fashion, remove them.
Hey, villager, come look at this.
So I look over it and I'm like, yep, everything looks good.
Sounds like you can open the door then.
I take a couple steps back because I'm wise.
Yeah, I'm way the hell away from this nonsense.
Well, most of you have to be away from this because the amount of digging that you've done, you can
I'm on
basically
top.
just kind of, you can squeeze in single file, and in fact, most of you will be hunched over. So who's at the front attempting to open the door, and who's immediately behind them?
I guess I'm prodding the thief to open the door, so I'm immediately behind him.
Yeah, I'll do that.
You're using the thief as a Polish mine detector. Okay.
What we need is a halfling. You tie them to the end of a 10-foot pole, and you just stick them in places.
What's a
Goblins are cheaper. Just rub them on the dungeon walls.
Yeah, there you go. You've done this sort of stuff before, ain't you?
So would that
Okay.
be under open
So,
doors?
Vinny, are you going to try brute force? Or are you going to just try to gently open it?
Try to gently open it.
Okay. So you try to stick. You try to stick your fingers in the edge and open it towards you, and it doesn't move. Then you give it a push from the outside, and there's a little click, and you feel it come loose. There's a bit of dirt jammed in there, so it doesn't like open instantly and easily. But when you pull at it, or you get the edge of a spade or something and prise it, it comes open. So it comes open, and you open it like a few inches, but you haven't opened it all the way yet.
So I hear that Zelda do ringing in the background. Well,
Yes,
looks
and
like
you
it's
are
open.
eaten. You were eaten by a grue. No.
You see my feet.
I
sticking
watch
up
a
the wall.
hand just come out of the darkness and grab him and pull him in.
Okay,
Alrighty.
so I open the door.
I lean into it as well, like I was always helping.
Do I see any light coming from the door, from the open door?
Okay, so you open it, and it opens. So it's opened on your right-hand side, so it's opening towards you. So you're physically sheltered behind the door. Dougal is not, however, because you're opening it towards him.
Oh,
So Dougal, make a saving throw.
You've killed me. You've killed me.
Hey, you had me open the door.
16. What am I making my saving throw on?
Let's.
I ain't seen a 16. I'm looking at the dice tray.
Did I roll?
No.
Let me refresh again.
There you go. A 4.
You made me re-roll that one.
I did nothing of the kind. It didn't even show up.
Alrighty. So there's a little puff of something powdery into your face. And then there's a little spark appears in front of you. And there is a little burst of flame in your face. You take 1d4 damage.
In the face.
Yep.
Are you going to make me roll my own damage, too?
Yeah, of course.
Make him cut the switch.
You had a nice beard.
Two.
Turns around, no eyebrows. It's safe, guys.
I feel a warm breeze this way.
So, in other words, he's got a baby face now.
He's clean shaven.
Stop cooking hot dogs down there. What do you see?
Okay, and it's dark beyond. You guys will have to light up the torch or something.
Yeah.
I want to
What
light
happened?
up
What
the
happened?
torch.
The thief's hair is on fire. We shouldn't need a torch.
The fighter's is. The thief is fine.
The fighter, sorry. The fighter's hair is on fire. We shouldn't need a torch.
Again,
Let
we're
me
seeing-
light that
The
for
thief
you.
was well
The
killed
mustache
by
on
the,
fire.
Yeah.
We take Dougal and put him in front of us as we walk
Yeah.
through the.
Does he still have eyebrows?
at this stage, yes.
What do you mean?
Was it like the scene from Home Alone when they opened up and the flamethrower?
The fighter just got flashbanged.
A reduction in charisma.
All right. Okay, so you peer beyond the door, and beyond the door is, so like I said, the plinth is about 6 foot wide at this point, and there's about a 4 foot wide circular. It just goes down like a chimney. But when you peer more closely, you see there are little kind of handholds sticking out. You know, at a bouldering climbing gym, it's just these random little stone knobs poking out.
Yeah.
You see
Are they
that
on the sides?
yeah, they're on the sides.
Okay.
And you look down, and it goes very deep down. It goes beyond the light of your torch.
Drop the torch down the hole.
Yeah, let me do
Okay.
that.
It takes 1 second.
Guys,
to
no,
fall.
I'm the torch.
I'm sure you'll do fine.
It takes 1 second to fall, and then it lands down the bottom on a solid surface, and you can't see terribly much, but you see that it's solid down the bottom.
What's the distance?
It's about 30 feet.
Do I hear anything?
No,
No noise of anything other than maybe the wind blowing?
no, you can't even hear the wind blowing because it's a warm, sunny day, and you've got a dozen adventurers behind you.
Is there anything to tie a rope to?
No,
Just us
The,
helpers in the rear.
there's just there's just the helpers in the rear, and then there's just those.
What do you
stone
see down there?
knobs.
Do you need a rope
So
yet?
the stone knob, it can be climbed down by anyone. You don't require a climbing roll. You'd only require a thiefly climbing roll to go down particularly quickly. But anyone who takes their time and is not massively encumbered can climb down. So if you're wearing
I'm
plate
going to
mail
do
and carrying
that.
a backpack, you couldn't.
I'm
do it, but-
going to climb down because I do have. Yeah, I want to climb
Like
down.
I said, you don't need climbing. Anyone can climb down. If you want to make it super safe, and like I said, if you're encumbered, you won't be able to climb down without a roll. So if you're planning to climb back up with a lot of stuff, then you might want to get a grapple hook or whatever and stick it up on this side. But at this stage, you can climb down without any trouble at all.
As a certified OSHA rep, I suggest that we open a rope and have it ready.
Yeah, I'm going to climb down.
Get the old drunk up there, says Daniel Ron. Vicious. Alrighty. So yeah, you climb on down. There's a musty, damp smell in here, and as you climb on down, and you no longer hear all the adventurers muttering between themselves and complaining about how it's stinky down here and wet and their back hurts and hunched over like that, and can't they just go out and eat some elk and blah blah blah. Once you're out of earshot of that, about 10 or 15 feet down, you start to just hear the dripping of water onto stone, and there's a lot of dew around, so you do have to take your time on the way down. You get down, and when you're about 10 feet above the torch, you realize that there's a room opening up underneath you. And that when you reach down the bottom, you'll probably be about 7 feet above the ground. So you'll be able to like hold onto the things and drop safely down next to the torch.
I want to do that.
And the climbing up might be a bit trickier.
I want to get down next to the torch and pick the torch up.
Okay. So you raise the torch up and you look around, and you're in a circular chamber, which is like a hemisphere shape. I keep putting my hands in my ears in the air to gesture, and then I forget that I have my camera off. All right, so it's a circular shape. You're like in a hemisphere, and you put it around, and around you are a lot of scattered bones.
Do I see any weapons?
And a rat scurries away from the light of your torch.
Crom.
And there are 2 archways just going off from this chamber, which is about 20 feet across.
Is it
Are
safe
the
to go down
archways?
And there are more runes across the walls. They're much larger than the ones outside.
Are the runes the same as what's outside?
Yeah, they're the same kind of runes, but they're much larger. Now, also on one of the walls, which is at the space is at right angles to the 2 chambers, one of the walls is a carved figurine, but it's carved into a recess in the wall, and it's this sort of hunched over creature, that sort of vaguely humanoid shape with evil kind of features, because you can only just dimly see it through your torchlight's flickering shadows.
What's it made of?
From where you're standing in the middle of the room, it seems to be made of the same kind of stone as the rest of it.
I'm going to go up and I want to further inspect the.
Like I said, the
stone.
room is scattered with human bones.
No, but the stone statue, I wanted to
Yeah.
go take a deeper look at that.
Okay, so you'll have to step on the human bones to do so. Unless you make a successful move silently check, if you want to, or you can just
Yes,
happily crunch.
I
You
do
can
wanna
happily
do it.
crunch away if you're indifferent to it.
Let me ask you this: are the floors completely covered in human bone?
Not completely covered, but it's covered enough that you have to watch your step to avoid stepping on them.
Okay, so I'm going to roll move silently.
Yep.
That's what, 10%?
15.
All right, let's see. A D10. Roll. a refresh. Did you guys see what it rolled?
I didn't, but I'm not on the YouTube channel.
Yeah, I didn't see anything.
Yeah, I
let, me,
didn't.
let me try it again. Wait.
There you go. Looks like a 6.
I think. It gets
Well, it was
disconnected.
you
No,
roll
the-
2 10 side. Yeah, you gotta.
The 6. Okay. All right. So you pick your way through the bones without crunching on any of the more delicate ones.
Mm-hmm.
So you're fairly nice and quiet, and you come up to the stone statue,
Mm-hmm.
and all that comes to mind is that it looks demonic. It's this hunched over thing. It's about 4 foot high, and it's hunched over, and it's got bat wings that are partly opened up. It has little fangs on it. It has bulging eyes, and little horns.
I pull up my iPhone and I take a picture of it. I got to share this on Facebook.
It's hunched over, and there are other runes underneath it. It's mounted
do I
on
see?
It's
do I
mounted on a
see-
little dais with other runes
Mounted on a
underneath.
dais. Do I notice anything that's? I want to look around and see if I notice anything that's not affixed to the actual statue.
Okay, so you're just visually inspecting it. Now, is anyone going to follow him down? He's been there
Oh.
about 10 minutes now.
Bob said, "I'm bored," and I'm
Is it
just gonna
safe to go
tromp
down?
on down there.
So you just force your way past Dougal.
Yep, I pretty much do.
Once
It's
the
like
ropes,
I said, it's only it's only a 4 foot wide, 4 foot high passage. So it's a bit of
I
jostling.
just move Dougal, push him out of the way, and just climb forward and climb down.
I'm
or you could just
standing in the
push him
back out of
forward
the
ahead
way.
of you. Get in there, Dougal.
Do I hear them coming?
I don't know. I haven't established if they are coming yet or not.
Yeah, I
Bob's
I
coming.
am coming. I'm moving Dougal out of my way,
Dougal,
whether
are
I
you
push
going?
him forward or
So sure enough, was setting up the rope. Once that's up, I will follow them down.
Okay.
So I don't know
Well,
if Bob pushes his way
to set up
past
the
me
rope-
before then.
To set up the rope, you just got to pass it down the line and then set up. Like I said, it's a grapnel, so you just put it on the other side of the door, and then that's very easy to do.
I'm
But I
coming
have to
down, but I'm
stand
not. I'm
at all
behind
of
it.
this.
And then you could just slide down the rope.
And yeah. I'll end up down there
All right.
eventually.
So it might be easier to say who is not there.
The
I'm at
militia
top.
probably did not follow us down.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not going down. Not yet.
Okay, it would be a bit crowded. All right, the cleric stays up. The rest of the adventuring party is down there. Cool. So you go down and you see, as I have described, you are very unlikely to be moving as silently as the thief. So thief, you're just starting to look at the little statue of the evil god or demon or whatever it is, and you hear a little clunk as the rope gets dropped down, and that's quickly followed by Bob sliding down, like a guy abseiling down from a helicopter, or rappelling down from a helicopter.
Nice.
or in Bob's case, just repellent down.
And Dougal
Dougal
falling from being pushed by Bob.
Dougal quickly follows him. And Shauna follows behind, with the cleric very noticeably not present.
Do I see
Okay.
the statue? Is there anything I can tell as a man of learning? and reading? Does it resemble anything I've read about?
It looks like a demon.
Caution, friends.
Okay, so you guys slide on down. You see the place scattered with bones. If you move from just immediately underneath that hole, then you will be stepping on bones and you will be making a noise. You guys can't avoid it because you're not thieves.
I root around in the bones looking for loose coins or other treasure.
All right. So remember, there's the 2 archways out of the chamber as well, which is about 20 foot across.
Okay.
But those exits look mostly the same. There's nothing different about either one.
Well, there's just darkness beyond.
Okay.
And you guys haven't mentioned lighting up torches as yet. So you're just going on the light of Vinny's torch.
Yeah, I guess we better light torches.
Okay. So, who's standing? You're standing near the entrances then when you light up your torches, or you're standing in the middle of the room, or what?
Wherever Vinny is, I'm lighting my torch off of him.
Okay.
I'm back at the entrance, behind everybody.
Okay. All right. So you light up your torches, and you make a surprise check. Roll 1d6.
Oh no!
I guess I'll roll it. Or actually, would I? Well, yeah, I'll roll it. All right, let's try that again.
There we go.
A 6. We're not surprised, Mr. Game Master.
That's good. That's very good. So, you hear scurrying behind you, and you turn around, and coming out from each side, from each of those 2 doorways into the chamber, are a pair of vile-looking creatures. They're humanoid shape. They've got grey skin. They're kind of hunched over. They've got long black tongues. And they've got long fingernails. Bloodied.
Do they look like
horrible
moles?
teeth. And they've got yellowed eyes. And they
Do they
move
look-
with preternatural style. Well,
As soon as one of them gets close enough, I'm going to chop at it.
I'm running back to tell the cleric.
you could just call up the
Do-
I don't have her phone number.
well,
Yeah,
she's
we've
30
got
feet up
cell
there.
phones in Hexcrawl.
When you
Yeah,
get it, let me
she's-
know. I need to send her a picture of this idol.
I'm going to grab him and throw him at the ghouls.
What do I roll for?
Oh,
How far are the creatures, and do I recognize them to know what they are?
Well, there's some form of undead. You're sure of that?
Oh, awesome. Yeah, we definitely need the cleric down. See if we can turn some of these creatures. If
I'm trying to get her down.
Well-
Yep.
How far are they from me?
Okay, so like I said, the chamber is about 20 feet across. You're standing at one end of it, so without getting at my Pythagorean theorem, they're 10 to 15 feet away.
Can I quickly shoot them with my crossbow, or is that something that's going to take an
Well,
action?
you wouldn't. I don't think you would have had the crossbow loaded up while
Correct.
you're climbing down the chimney. That would have been a bit imprudent.
What about
the
throwing
crossbow?
a-
The crossbow equivalent of having the loaded pistol with the safety off shoved into the front of your jeans.
What about throwing a dagger at them?
Yes,
I
you
want
can
to
throw a
try
dagger at
that.
them. Okay. Initiative.
Who's
All right.
feeling lucky?
I'll do it.
I got 5.
Oh, I got 4.
Okay. With a horrible screech, the ghouls fall upon you. Okay,
How
so
many?
neatly there's 4 of you and there's 4 of them, so that works out well.
For the ghouls, they get 3 attacks a round.
Well, it means I don't have to figure out who's attacking them. And all the
Yeah,
rest.
no, I understand that.
Till one of us falls.
Well, it's been nice knowing you guys.
Alrighty.
I have a plan. Thief, quick, distract them. Now let's all go up.
Well, yeah, that was my thought. Let's see if we could draw them up into the sunlight.
Okay, so let's see. So the first one attacks the thief, who is AC 5. Basically all of you AC 5 except the cleric. And the magic user. Alright. Okay, so the thief will get hit, miss, hit. So one of the claws, they're going to get clawed for 2 points of damage. Okay, and then Lord Courier, your fighter, is missed. Bill, your fighter, Courier, and then the second one, claw, and bite. Right, so 2 points of damage and 3. So Courier, your fighter takes 5 points of damage.
I don't like that.
Ouch.
And then Bob takes 1 point of damage as he's clawed. And then the
Alright.
magic user, oh boy, here we go.
This,
Oh boy. Takes 2 plus 1, that's 3. 4 points of damage. The magic user.
Well, I'm in a fetal heap crying on the floor.
Okay, now each of you need to do a save versus paralyzation.
all right, here I go. I'll
Each
do
of you
mine.
being wounded. So the fighters need 14 or more.
Bob does not save. Bob is going to be eaten.
The
Dougal
magic
does
user
not
needs-
save.
We're all
The-
gonna be eaten.
The magic user needs 14, and the thief needs 13.
Ooh, I got a 12.
Shonuff made his save versus paralysis.
Okay. Okay.
So that
Gets to
means
make
that
a
I
save
can't
versus
move.
therapy.
What's you all doing then?
Nothing.
The ones who have not been paralyzed. So what's that?
That-
Sure enough.
Yeah,
I'm
that
a
is-
zero. I'm unconscious, so
Well, you're not unconscious. You're held rigid.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah. You're unconscious as well because you're at 0 hit points.
So the whole party's just dead, just like that.
Yep, that's
Well,
it.
no, the magic users. Oh no, because he's not paralyzed, but he is unconscious.
Yes,
Mhm,
Okay,
mhm.
so
that's not going to stop them from eating right now.
The cleric is your only hope if she's on her way down.
and our stalwart militia.
Yep, I'm coming down.
Okay, so she comes down. You got your holy
Hopefully
symbol
with the
ready?
militia.
I do have it out. I mean,
Okay.
they called up that there were evil things down here, so I'm ready to try to turn.
Okay. Now, are you going to try to turn on your way down, or are you just going to get down, set up, assess things, and then decide what to do?
I'm going to try to turn on the way down because it
Okay,
sounds like
so-
I'm going in hot.
Yeah, you know when like soldiers like abseil down, and in the action movies they'll be firing while they're on their way down the road from the helicopter. It's the same, but you'll be brandishing the holy symbol.
Yep.
So, Gondara comes barreling down the rope, brandishing a holy symbol, saying, "What do you say to banish them?"
Begone evil!
Oh, okay. Not that original. All right. Make a turning roll. D20.
Hey, it doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be effective.
That's right.
11.
11. You do not turn them.
Oh God.
Okay.
And with
However-
that
Mace
roll,
comes
the
out.
campaign did not continue.
12 attacks. You are going to get 12 attacks on you.
Well, they're not attack. We don't bother resolving the attack rolls. They're just generally chewing on a finger here and there, and that we don't bother, rolling the attacks until like you're torn to pieces. So they're
Oh,
chewing
well,
away.
I just meant the cleric there.
No, because ghouls are low intelligence. So when they've downed their prey, they just start eating
I got you.
Ouch.
because they're just ravenous.
So I get
They're
to like hack as they're
they're like
chewing on the party.
they're like the things in like I Am Legend or something like that. Yeah, so they're just they're chewing away on their victims, who are all taking 1 hit point per round, and will continue doing so until they reach the negative of their constitution and perish and die, or until they are otherwise rescued. You can attempt to turn them again in the next round. You could say because they just you shout and they look up for a moment with the
Okay.
flesh and blood of your party members on their face, and then they look back down and start eating again.
Okay.
So
I will
you can
definitely try to turn next time.
Okay, so next round you attempt to turn again.
So do we need to do
Roll.
initiative, or do I just
No,
try?
you don't need to do initiative because they're not doing anything except eating your friends.
Okay. That's a 17.
17. All right, they look up from eating your friends and decide, oh, that god. Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh, we missed it the first time.
Well, it's
You
it's certainly up
mumbled.
to you, Kyle, but it is 2d6 roll to see how many of them are turned.
That's correct.
May just be a couple, maybe all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to roll for it?
Yes.
Okay. 2d6. Here we
Well,
go.
36 automatically too. How many? work?
Oh, that's
That's a-
9.
All of them.
All
They all
right.
leave.
So all 4 of them. So they go back to where they came from. They get up from having chewed on your comrades and they flee down the passages.
So I'm going to go to our most critical injured party member first.
The magic user
that-
looks like Colonel Rhodes
That's
at
what
the
I
end of
finished.
Day
That's
of
what
the
I
Dead.
figured. That's what I figure. The magic user.
He looks like gnarled
Is-
tree bark.
Is the magic user still alive?
Yeah, he's still
Minus
alive.
1.
Okay, so I'm going to stabilize him and then cure light wounds on him.
Yep.
So I'll let him roll for the healing.
What's the D on that? 6 or
It's a D8.
8?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So then
Oh,
I'll
yeah,
go
so-
to the next most critically injured of the group.
Mm-hmm.
Stabilize and my second cure light wounds. I'm not sure who
Yeah, you
that
guys
is,
have
but
to roll for it. Don't look to me.
Oh, sorry. Who?
I believe, Dougal, she is trying to save you.
Got it. If I only got chewed on once, I'm at 1 HP. And if you cast light wounds, I can roll it.
Yep.
5. Okay. I'm back to 6.
okay.
I'm gonna start retreating and telling the militia to help us out. Get out.
Well, as long as nobody goes after them, they will continue retreating because I've turned them.
Well, as far as they can go, yes.
Yeah.
But I'm thinking of Obi-Wan here saying, ghoul people are easily startled, but they'll
Right.
soon recover.
It's 3d4 is the number of rounds, unless you're house rolling it, Kyle. I'm not
Yeah.
certainly not trying to tell you how to do it.
Yeah, but prudence suggests that you should get out.
Yeah.
Pull out
yeah.
the wounded and
Let's
paralyzed guys.
let's stabilize the last of the people and let's get out and regroup and decide what we're gonna do here. Maybe
Right.
we go
You
under
hear me?
fire next time.
Fine.
Exactly.
You
Well,
hear me go? Oil
if you're able
barrel.
to memorize another spell tomorrow,
Right.
Sophie, may I suggest protection from evil? Can be effective as well.
Yep.
Yeah, that would
We
be
can
good
plan
too.
that.
Protection from evil and bless and things like that can be very useful.
Agreed.
So we do need to return back to town because we had people go below 0, right?
I think you just had one go to 0, didn't you? Do you have anyone else?
I went
go below
-1.
0? -1. Okay.
If they were eating all of us, I don't know which body part I lost, but
Yeah, but you were at 0, weren't you, when you went down? I'm not worried about a bit of chewing damage, but in actual
speak for
combat,
yourself.
Yeah.
yeah. So you
Depends
can.
upon what party
He
was
lost a
chewing, I
point of
guess.
charisma in that.
So my thief is still. I'm still paralyzed.
Yeah, the paralyzation will wear off in a few hours.
Okay.
We'll drag you back up. We're not going to leave you down there.
That's perfectly fine.
And drag you back up. But yeah, you'll have to at least spend a day out of the place.
Well, I'm wondering if we just camp here and then, try and set up a ghoul kill zone.
I don't really want to camp here paralyzed.
There's a comfy clean to
Well, you
it.
don't have a
I'm
choice. You
Yeah,
don't
well,
have a choice to camp.
You'll camp where we set you.
Yeah. In fact, you're going to be holding down a tent flap.
Now, I believe you guys don't have holy water or the oil, but you can get that from the temple.
I do
in
have
town.
holy water.
I have oil.
I have
Okay.
holy water.
And I brought some in my provisions, some oil.
Okay, good.
Not that I've used it.
So yeah, now you just have to approach this kind of tactically because you've got oil, you've got holy water, you've got there's spells like sanctuary and protection from evil and bless, and of course healing spells and all the rest. So if you approach it tactically, then it might be possible.
Yeah, I've got
So-
oil flasks.
So do we want to go proactive or reactive? Because if I'm going proactive, I'm going to do bless and those spells. But if I'm going reactive, I will do cure light wounds. So what do you think?
I like the cure light wounds.
Have we exited all the way yet? Are we out?
Yeah,
I think
you're all
so.
out.
Okay.
You're all out.
All right. The problem with reactive is we know these are nasty and there's 4 of them. We need to go down with something to push them back. I think rather than react. Because we
I
can't
mean,
even we can't even stand in the room with them basically at the
Well,
moment.
listen, why don't we lure them over? We'll make a hell of a lot of noise. They'll come in and we'll just throw oil on them and set them on fire.
All right.
I like the kill zone idea.
Yeah.
So I'll do 1 bless and 2 cure. I'll do the bless before you go down there. That'll make it so you
I
have a
ain't
better
going
chance.
down there.
So you got a
You're
better
crazy,
chance.
lady. I
Remember
said we're
that
going to lure them here to the
Remember
hole.
the cure
They're
does
not
not
gonna come
help
up.
you. Remember, the cure doesn't help you from paralyzation.
No,
So-
no.
I just assumed it was afterwards, but
Well, if we're getting a night's rest, I'm gonna try and do ventriloquism and maybe we can redirect them. I can redirect them with that.
Yeah, but are they going to be intelligent enough to?
I don't know. They sense light. Maybe they sense sound.
Do you have any other options? I mean, you can memorize a spell twice.
I'll write on them.
Oh, okay.
I don't think friends will be much help.
Maybe you can make them friends of each other and distract them. I don't know.
You know what you need? Unagi.
So what's the plan, boys and girls?
If
You could always just give it up as too hard and leave. Go back to the village. Retire.
Might be the prudent thing to do.
Is this really the group you're going to vouch that to?
Either way, I
know.
want to
Draw-
block the entrance back up if we leave, or for the night. Either way, because those things are coming back.
Yeah, we want them to come back. We
They
can
mostly
throw
come at
burning
night.
oil on 'em.
Mostly.
Would it be a good idea to try to lure them? I can't do anything, but to have them lured into that hole and then douse them with oil.
That's what I've been saying.
Yeah, but I like the thief's plan better than yours, so we're gonna go with that.
What's the...
You change one word and
Yeah.
suddenly it's a different plan.
Note to
The
self,
irony
push
is the thief
in
is
the hole.
paralyzed and can't talk.
All right. So,
As I said,
what do you...
I'll do
what are you
ventriloquism
doing about
down
the
the
hole
hole
for the
to try and get them to come towards the hole, and y'all can douse
Yeah,
them.
but what are you doing overnight for your stay overnight?
Well, we're going to have watches apparently. At least.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just hanging out.
You're leaving the door open, or are you going to open it, or what?
No,
No.
can we close
We'll
it
close
or
it.
push?
Yes, you can
like
close it.
something. Okay.
You can
Do we have a
close it.
bell
Do you-
or a can or something that could go off if it opens?
You don't, but you have iron spikes. I assume somebody bought iron spikes.
I will sleep on top of the slab.
I actually have iron spikes in my bag, but
Well,
you'll have
good.
to dig them out.
So you'll make them in a pyramid, and they'll clang if they fall
He
over.
just he
Well, at
drools
this
out the
point,
side
you
of his
should
mouth.
be-
Which iron spikes you got, bro? It's just slowly recovering.
My bird!
Can you feel this?
My bird!
It's like a
Can you feel
stroke
this?
patient.
Does anybody hear
It's like
that?
he's got Bell's
My
palsy at the moment,
bird.
you know. He's like Slice Stallone or something.
Do you have any dental work you need
I
done now?
have spikes in my bag.
Oh my gosh.
So what you're saying is we can pose him, right?
Mm.
Living statue.
Okay, so you guys camp out for the night, and you do the healing that you're able to do. The paralyzation gradually wears off. You close the door. You iron spike it closed. And you're sitting there during the night, the wind blowing across the grassy moors, and from inside the dungeon you hear it. So it's pretty hard to get to sleep because you keep hearing this thump
All right.
of them trying to get out.
Good thing the door doesn't open outwards.
It does, but you iron spiked it.
Oh,
That's what iron spikes are for, man.
Yeah.
Man, those eyebrows really are. You know.
I can't tell if you're mad or not.
He just looks surprised all the time.
And for some reason, it looks like he had Botox.
He looks like a thumb with a nose.
A Scottish thumb.
Alrighty. So after a night of rather interrupted sleep, because it stops for like half an hour, and then you hear. And if you're close enough to the door, you hear the. And then sometimes you hear this scratching kind of sound.
How much
I
time is?
don't have a blackboard with me, so I can't do it. But it's a scratch, fingernails on blackboard thing. It's a
How much?
ghoul claws on stone. Yes.
How much time has passed?
Well, it's through the night. This is just through the night. Nothing comes to bother you in the night. Those guys want to come and bother you, but they can't because you iron spike them in there.
Are they still trying to get out in the morning? Do we still hear that slow thumping?
As the sun rises, it goes quiet.
Okay.
Am I out of paralysis?
Yeah. Like I said, after a few hours, it fades.
Okay.
Okay, next morning.
So we want to lure them into the kill zone. Let's just open the door.
What are you guys meaning by? Yeah, that's what you mean by the kill zone, is it?
Yeah. I'm discussing the plan. I'm not doing this. Discussing the plan with people. We open the door. We make a lot of noise, and we try and set a big group of them on fire if they come through, or just plunk at them one by one. Is everybody in agreement that the door is a good place to do it, or?
Right, so remember, you've got the door, and then there's the kind of chimney
Right.
thing directly there. But on your side, there's that little passage between or ramp between the door and then the ground above. And there's a bit dug around it too.
We could just set
The
up
door,
outside.
the door opened up into a hollow, right? That we had to climb down, correct?
Mhm.
Yes, yeah, a sort
Right.
of a chimney, basically.
Right. So that
That's
sound.
terrifying. They
does
climbed
make it-
up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so the ghouls had been climbing up the chimney. Yeah.
We could take the oil and try to douse the side so it becomes slick.
Yep.
That doesn't kill a ghoul, and we want to kill.
No,
a
but it
ghoul.
prevents them from coming up, and then you can douse oil on top of them.
But that means that they want to come up.
They did last night.
They
Well,
mostly
maybe
come
only
at
at
night.
night.
Mostly.
Right.
What if we? Is there a way to just have the door open enough to where they're trying to come out, and we can light them on fire from the opening of the door?
You make them squeeze through. Yeah, you can do that. You can you open it and then iron spike it.
So like they're
Let-
trying
let
to
me
get
give
out.
you
it
one
can't
of
open further.
And then as they're trying to get out, we can douse them with oil and then light them on fire.
Seems reasonable to me.
But we have to get them. Hope that we can get their attention. Have them climb up.
I'm not worried about getting their attention. Not at all.
Well, and we're assuming there's only 4 of these and nothing else.
Well,
Why
you
do
guys
we
were
want-
being eaten, so if there'd been more than 4 ghouls,
Yeah.
then others would have come to feast upon your bodies. But there could indeed be other things in there. But yeah.
So,
Why do
so
we
let's
want
think
them to
this.
climb up? Let's just get them over to the hole and throw the oil down on them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm as
So-
dumb as a
so-
post, and I can figure that out.
So let's say we're successful. We do the oil. We take care of the ghouls. Is this going to stop at the ghouls' ashes, or is the oil going to continue and possibly burn up whatever loot we might get out of this place?
Well, it's a lot of
it's
stone.
All you've seen so far is stone and bones. If the stone
Yeah.
is flammable, you've got other problems when you go down there. It's a tomb of naphtha.
I'm taking the stone for sulfur.
It's a petrochemical dungeon.
Yep.
The tomb
Everything
of the
blows
moon
up.
of Titan.
It's just ammonia ice.
I mean, I didn't want, any loot to get burned in
I
the
thought Ice
destruction
9
of the
was
ghouls.
bad.
Yeah.
Well, even if it gets burned, if it's gold, at least it just melts into a big lump. I've had
Yeah,
that
I'm good
before.
with throwing the oil
Had that
down.
before, where a DM said that the gold failed its saving throw against a fireball, and we said, like, it's gold. How can it fail its saving throw? And he said, okay. And then he had like 1,200 gold fuse into a big lump. So of course we took it with us anyway.
Yeah,
It's
that's
just a
that's
big gold
perfectly fine
nugget.
way to do it. It's even better than taking the coins, because then you don't get pesky taxmen going, well, that kingdom fell a long time ago and they were out of favor, so those coins are worth less. No, it's just
So
a big lump of refined gold.
The softball chunks of gold that
Yep.
were hacked away have no monetary value
All right.
that the tax collectors can get.
A magic
Okay.
user. I
Who's
hear
going
you
first, and what are they taking with them?
Why don't me and Vinny go down to try and open the door partially?
Okay, so you go and you prize out
Oh,
the
wait.
irons.
I'm going to cast bless on everybody before we start this, just to be
Okay,
safe.
cool. So you go down and you pull out the iron spike. The grapnel hook with the rope is still there. No, nobody pulled that after them. So,
Right.
yeah, you see a number of, and now that you open the door, you can see scratch marks where the ghouls had been scratching with their clawed fingers at the door. You look down, you can't see anything because again, it's 30-foot chimney, 30 foot down.
I motion for Vinny to start hammering spikes in. I assume we kind of get the door squeezed like this or something, so they.
Do you want them to be? Do you want it to be a size where they could just squeeze through, or where they're just short of squeezing through? That'll be a matter of judgment. But
So are
Yeah.
we getting out of the door and then
because you know what I mean, like there's a width where you could shove your arm through, but you
3
can't
inches.
get your body through. And there's also a width where you can squeeze your body through, but two of you can't come at once or whatever, unless you have a fat ghoul or something.
These aren't cat people ghouls, right?
so
Not till
let me
the third
are we
level.
Are we inside the door?
We're
No, you're in
next to
the
the door.
chamber. You're in the entrance chamber that goes up to the door with the chimney down.
But we're not are we inside where we can look down and
Well, you've opened the
See-
door, so you can peer down if you want to. Now,
okay. I want to throw a torch down, a lit torch down the
Yep.
hole, straight
Yep.
down. Do I see the light from 30 feet away?
yes, you do. You see the light flickering amongst the bones.
Do I hear
Well,
anything?
well, we're
Not
not
at
trying
the
to.
moment, no.
Yeah. Are we? Can we spike the door before they show up?
Are you spiking it open or shut, or at a particular width, or what?
At a particular width, so it would be really hard for them to squeeze through. And I make sure we're on the
Okay.
right side of the door before that happens.
Mhm. Yeah, because right
All
now
right.
we're on the other
At
side.
least me.
All
Good
right.
job,
Why is that
Vinny.
hard to
Now
do?
make some noise.
All right. Yep. So you spike it open like 3 inches. Yep.
Okay. Now we can make some noise and try and kill some ghouls, hopefully without getting killed ourselves.
Okay.
Yep.
Who's at the front, and what are you equipped with?
Vinny, because I'm going back to tell the other people that I'm done. That the door spiked.
Vinny, what are you equipped with?
So I go ahead and equip my light crossbow and get it
Mhm.
ready.
Mhm.
And then I grab a flask of oil
Okay.
because I can hold the light crossbow in one hand and then hold the oil in the other.
Yeah. You still need something to light the oil with. See, so there's 2 ways you can do oil, basically, which is to sort of light it up and then throw it the next round, you've got the cloth sticking out of the classic Molotov cocktail, and then throw it the next round. Or you could just throw it in an area, and it's slippery in that area, but then you can throw a torch at that area and light it up.
I've got a third idea to see if it's possible.
Yeah.
Can I wet the end of the bolt with some kind of fabric and oil and fire a lighted bolt, a fire bolt?
Yeah, you can fire a firebolt, but whatever you strike it with has to be flammable. Otherwise, it's like throwing a candle at something.
He's gonna make a little firebolt and throw the oil, I think, so he can just light it, right?
Well, I have to.
But I mean, where you're standing, you'll just be able to, like, if there's oil, you'll just be able to reach out and touch it with your torch anyway, or chuck your torch in.
Or could I?
Because it's so close, it'd be 3 feet away.
Could I put oil on the door, in the opening of the door?
That's a real metal album cover right there with the ghouls all clawing out of it and it's on fire.
Yeah, I'm feeling a mid-late 80s, like maybe Death or Cannibal Corpse, possibly.
Yeah.
You could just douse the ground with heaps of oil.
That's what I want to do. I want to douse the ground with oil, and then I want to get the crossbow bolt and put oil on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when they show up, I can light it and fire.
Yeah, like I said, you could just chuck a torch at them.
I want to pull a John Rambo, basically.
Because you can, yeah. Or you could just chuck the oil, the torch. You pour the oil on the ground and then chuck the torch at the ground, because you can't miss the ground. You can miss with your crossbow bolt, but you can't miss the ground. So
I'll do that.
And then light them up.
That sounds good.
Okay, so you make a noise. All right, give us a D6 roll to see if you wake and or provoke.
I will do that.
The ghouls.
Five,
yes. Okay, so if this were a movie, we would now cut to this ghoul sitting in a dark chamber somewhere, but you can still see him in that blue light that they always have in movies where you show people in the darkness, and he's like a voice rings out in the background of a challenge, and his head comes up, his long black tongue lolls out, and then he starts scampering off, essentially on all fours, scampers along amongst all the bones, and then he leaps up the 7 feet to grab onto the first handhold at the bottom of the chimney, and he makes his way rapidly up the chimney. Okay, make a saving throw for him as he comes up the chimney, and he sees the oil that's leaked out onto the edge of his of the chimney.
That's a 6.
A 6. He pauses it, feels it on his finger and just licks it and shakes his head, and he keeps going, and he tries to, and he can smell flesh, and he starts reaching through the door and trying to force it open, pounding on it. You see the arm of the ghoul come out, reaching for you. Just wants to reach a little bit further, and he can.
Now I want to toss the lighted torch at him.
Okay, roll 2d6 damage. Because it's a ground, you can't miss. It's like the ground 5 feet away.
What is the armor class of the planet?
That would be 5.
Yeah. Is that with the 2d6?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you do 5 damage to him in the first round. So there's a screech as he goes up it starts to burn. And
Anybody else want to?
Well, you can. If you've got more oil, you can just keep tossing it.
How's it going down there?
You hear this?
I do the same.
Screech of pain.
I do the same thing.
Somebody's cooking roadkill down there.
Okay, so
I'm not eating that. I know we ate our last kill, but
No rotted corpse.
ghoul sausage.
I don't have cure disease, so I'd advise against
okay.
it.
Now this will be important. So, how many flasks of oil are there in the party?
So I had 10. I now have 9.
You had 10 flasks of oil.
Yes.
You were just
So you spent
I
like
had
50.
planned.
You
I
spent like
had
50
planned.
gold.
He wants to be prepared. He's the
I
Boy
love the
Scout of the group.
Molotov cocktail. That's all I'm saying.
So you got a human chain passing you flasks of oil. Okay, so the next round you break another flask of oil on the ground. So he's still burning, right? So he'll take 1d6 from the previous lot of oil, and he'll take 2d6 from this lot of oil. So it's 3d6 damage
All right.
in the second round.
3. That will be a 12.
12 points. Okay. That should do it. Yes. So there's one down. So a horrific screech of pain, and then the arm falls back, and there's the seconds pause, and then you hear a wet kind of crumpling, crunching sound as he falls to his death below.
Sweet.
Does that
Did you get them all?
Else? Yeah.
One down.
Did we win yet?
We got one.
Okay. Make another roll to see if another comes. Because they don't like flames, and they know that flames are coming now.
And that's a 1d6.
Yes.
That would be a 4.
4. Okay. No others come up as yet.
Yeah, we should have gotten more up there before we lit them.
But you do down below. You okay? No, you. Let's see. Will you hear anything?
I'll check the
No,
sun.
you don't.
We can do this all day.
All right. Bob's,
I'm afraid of
Bob's
when it becomes night.
Bob's gonna lean over there. He's gonna scoot down towards the opening and braving the embers and the oily, disgusting, greasy smoke. Say, "Oh boy, we done killed all the ghouls. Boy, it's a good thing. Let's open this door and run right in here."
Hey, Roy.
Then I'm gonna back out of the trench and see if we fooled them.
Huh.
Are they fooled by my clever tactical ruse?
You don't hear anything from below.
Well.
Vinny does not hear anything from below.
I'll
He's just
pass
standing
forward
there
a
with his
rock
flask
that
of oil.
Vinny can throw down. Here, Vinny, throw this rock down there. See what happens.
That's a good idea. Let me toss a rock down.
All right, you toss a rock through the 3-inch gap in the door that you've stuck in place, and it clatters from one side of the chimney to the other, and then falls down to the bottom, and you don't hear anything.
So we can open the door.
Time for the bobcat.
Can we go like kill a rabbit or something? And like I'm thinking we make some bait now and get some more ghouls up here.
I like that idea.
Yeah, you've got a like side of elk
Yeah,
meat.
there's
Yeah,
exactly. There's a rotty elk.
and you've got your
steak.
rope. You can reach that 3-inch gap. You can reach through and grab the
Fishing for ghouls.
You can reach in and grab the rope and then pull it on up.
Yeah, we could tie the rabbit to the rope, throw it in there like bait.
No,
like
we've
fishing for
got
ghouls.
the elk. We could also go get bugbear.
They're not going to mind. I
They've
mean,
got their
choice
Bugbear
of bait.
actually might attract him
All right,
even
so
more.
Vinny,
Uh-huh.
you reach your arm through that 3-inch gap to grab the rope so that you can pull it up and then attach bait to it. Make a saving throw.
Oh, awesome. So on the saving throw, am I rolling 2d10?
D20.
D20. Lovely.
Oh, man.
Please describe how I die.
All right. Wait one.
Just immediately turns into a ghoul immediately.
No, I end up being one of the zombies from the Michael Jackson Thriller video.
He's probably paralyzed.
Darkness falls across the land. The midnight hour is close at hand.
Hey, don't get me copyright struck, man.
Too close to those dulcet tones of Michael.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, how
He's got to
Please
get his
describe my
earbuds in. Be cool.
impending doom.
The stench of 40,000 years.
All right.
Lovely.
You get attacked by a ghoul who's climbing up the wall. He has his hands occupied climbing up the wall, but he can still bite you.
Crunch.
Bite at your arm, which he does. For a massive 1 point of damage, so he nips at your arm.
Oh,
But you
sweet.
still have to make a saving throw of against paralyzation.
Which he did not.
Not again.
All right. So
Right,
Vinny's got his
so-
arm through, reaching for the rope, and he suddenly goes, ah! Cries out, goes rigid, and he gets that Bell's palsy again.
So for
Starts
the
sounding like Sly Stallone.
What was that, Vinny?
Drag him out again.
Vinny, what'd you say?
so for the yeah, nothing apparently. So for the paralyzed, I'll roll a d20.
Yes. Oh, sorry. I thought you'd already rolled it.
Yeah, he rolled a
Nope.
1.
No,
Now
I
you're-
rolled a 1 to get attacked. Oh, yeah. Never mind.
Yeah. So the first saving throw was whether or not you noticed him climbing up
Yeah.
the wall before you shoved your arm through. The
Okay.
second saving throw was once he had hit you, he paralyzed you.
So I go down like a stick.
Yeah. But at least you're on the other side of the door, so he can't chew at you.
Somebody want to pull me back so he's not try to pull me through the door.
So you see a
Yeah,
fresh
yeah.
chew
That
mark
would
on
be
his
greatly
arm.
appreciated. Just
And
saying.
then
We'll get him out of
and
the way so we can
there's-
feed more ale down.
There's another ghoul arm reaching through, and you see his face pressing up against the 3-inch gap. He's trying to shove himself through.
I'm picturing that scene from Return of the Living Dead when they're bursting through the mortuary door.
Yeah, so he's trying to get through.
Before I
And there's a whole string of oil on the ground that Vinny hadn't used yet, lined up next to
and
him.
I've also got oil in my bag, so feel free. And I would have told you guys that. God forbid something happen to me. I've got oil right here that you can use.
I'll grab up a brand from the fire and say, "Get him the hell out of the way!"
We can't save
So
him.
I'll grab him and I'll try to drag him out of the way.
He's bit. He might turn.
No. I'll take care of this. I'll
We
drag
light
him off to
the
the
thief on
side.
fire.
All right.
I'll drag him out of the way.
Wait till they get him out of the way, and then I will throw the brand. And as I
You're
cannot
strong
miss
enough
the
to
brand.
just you, Bill, your character's strong enough. You could just pull him back with one arm while you
Right.
do something else with the other arm.
Whoosh. All right, pulling him back, lighting the fire.
Alrighty. Light him up. So you chuck some
Joker's
oil
to
at
the
him
left
and
of
light it
him.
up. Roll
Flames to the
2d6.
right.
Roll 2d6 damage.
All right. 10.
Awesome.
All right. Here's it goes up in flames, and you hear this horrible screech and this greasy, fatty, burned smell. And then you hear as he wetly thumps against the wall on his way down the chimney, where he'll take another 3d6 damage when he falls. So,
Dang.
I love
So
the
you got
smell of
two-
burnt
two
ghoul in the
ghouls
morning.
down. 2 ghouls down and 1 PC paralyzed.
That's a fair
Or if you're
trade.
us.
Yeah.
If you're not the PC, yeah.
Well, the PC
Well, clearly
is
this
just
is what's working. We'll just lean thin
paralyzed.
over
Yeah.
there and throw his arm. We were wondering what bait the ghouls might want. It's clearly we found the bait that they like.
Oh my god!
You take a rope and wrap it around his waist. Throw him in there. He's stiff as a brick, so he'll light up
Fishing
quick.
for ghouls with Bill Dance.
But it's just his arm.
Alrighty.
I mean, he's
So what
already
do you-
paralyzed. What's the worst they're gonna do? Chew on him?
Yeah.
Like eating tree bark.
It will eventually run out of hit points. All right. So, what are you guys doing next?
I assume we're gonna wait for Vinny to be able to work again because he's slacking on the
That'll
job.
be some hours.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
the ghouls might get their bravery up back by then.
They might forget that this place has fire.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So rest up, Vinny.
Don't think I have a choice.
You're just gonna drag him up out of the trench, just throw him on the ground next to it. Go back down there, pour some more oil, and wait.
Are you
Sounds
waiting?
good.
You're waiting down in that chamber?
No, I'm not.
Yeah. mm.
I thought you were waiting down next to the oil, sitting there with your torch ready.
No,
Come on,
no,
come
no,
on.
no, no, no.
Yeah, like Arnie, come here, kill me, come on, do it.
We're
I
right
want you to
here.
hit me.
Come on. We're
Go
right
to the
here.
chopper.
Get to the chopper. Now.
Get to the flying carpet.
Every once in a while, he pulls off an elk jerky and throws it in the hole.
Get to the apparatus of Qualish. Wow. What's the matter, Dylan? They got you casting too many right spells.
All right. So nobody's sitting down in the chamber?
Oh, hell no. No.
No.
No, no. Well,
Not.
Okay.
absolutely not.
All right. So you're outside, and then from in there, you hear this, bit of a screech and a sort of.
Oh, we got another one.
All right.
So
I
who's gonna do the oil?
I
You
throw
hear
the
a
torch.
thump, and then you hear a creak, a grinding noise. That
I
door
th-
has been pushed open.
No,
Damn
no,
it.
no.
It's not only
No.
adventurers who can do open doors checks.
I'm throwing that torch in the trench.
Okay, now this time,
as soon as I see
because
their
you're-
eyes turn.
This time, because you're about 30 feet away, and
Okay.
it's down that ramp, and you don't have the visibility, you
Sure.
do actually have to make a 2-hit roll because
Not
it might just get stuck in the dirt on the way.
Of
down.
course, of course. And it does.
And it does.
It goes out. It just
Good thing I
defective
was turning.
torches.
Just stands there like wiggling in the mud.
Yeah. All right. And from inside, so you can't see because, like I said, it goes down into the dirt. This chamber, but yeah, Vinny's just coming to, going, oh, my head, it hurts, and
I feel
from
so
inside down in the chamber, you hear this sort of hissing and
Vinny, weren't you
hear a bit of
watching?
shuffling around.
You were on watch. I rally everybody because I assume we were all just dinking around the campfire. So I want the militia up.
Yep.
So that's what I'm doing.
As soon as I see him, I'm turning.
I ready another flask of oil.
Okay, they're not coming up. They are creatures of the night.
I don't like smart tactics. We're the only ones that can use smart tactics.
It might not be smart tactics. They might just not like the light.
Okay.
Which
well,
comes to the same thing in this instance, but anyway. But
Now,
remember,
you said-
you got lots of oil down there, so
You
Yeah.
said
Oh, hang
something opened the door,
yes,
but we don't see anything.
no, but logically,
It's
it's the
dark.
ghouls. I mean, it's
So if there's lots of oils, someone should fling a lit torch to see
But
if that
hang on.
oil can start.
When
Yeah,
when
I'll
you,
do that.
Hang
I'll
on.
light the torch up.
Yeah, I was going to say because when you pulled Vinny out, nobody mentioned grabbing all the oils that he'd left behind.
they're all down there.
I've got my own oil, which I did not leave down there, but
All
Yeah,
eight
nobody
of
got
Vinny's or
Vinny's oil.
whatever.
oh god, they're
So-
collecting the oil.
We've made ghoul grenadiers.
So is the oil still in the flask or is it all on the ground?
It'll all be lined up, and you would have like uncorked it and stuff, because otherwise, if you just have an intact flask, every time you throw it, it has to make a saving throw to see if it actually breaks, which would be a bit embarrassing if you go, it will destroy you, and then it just goes clunk on the ground and doesn't break.
So if I light
So
a torch,
you would have uncorked them all so
Yeah.
that they're ready to flame
so
up.
if I light a torch and I throw it, it's going to create a bonfire, correct?
Well, if at least one of them has fallen over, but I mean, with all the movement around, that's likely to have happened. So what we would do is to make, say, a saving throw for one of the oil flasks to see if it's fallen over.
Okay.
But
So I'll
at a
do
sort
that.
of at a penalty for it, save versus fall ceramic. Normally it's 11, but it'd make it down to like say 8, because it's just about did it get tipped over or was one cracked enough that it's leaking some oil out.
So I just need to roll a d20.
Yeah, and you want it to fail. So it's normally 11. So sorry, I'd make it a 14.
And
So
it
if you
did fail.
roll, it failed. Okay. So, but you still have to roll to hit. So there's oil floating around in there, but you still have to make a roll to hit to get it. Because
Okay,
unless
so
you
I'm
want
gonna
to, unless you want to go down there and then you can, if you get within 5 feet of the oil, you can hit it automatically. But of course, then whatever is down there, you'll be confronting.
Everybody throw a torch. Somebody will hit it. There's
Yep.
there-
Yep. Torches.
there's
Yeah,
Lit
so
five
I
All
of
right,
like
them.
you light up
torch.
torches and you all throw torches down there, and eventually, okay. So who's the front of the chamber?
That would be me.
Like at the entrance? Okay. Is anyone with Vinny, or are you just passing torches for Vinny to chuck?
We're passing torches.
Yeah.
We'll pass.
Vinny's our grenadier.
Who's immediately behind Vinny?
I guess I'll be, so I can catch whatever's coming again for him.
Okay, so Vinny, you said you had 10 torches, 10 flasks of oil, and
It
you
would be
used 2 of
technically
them.
8. Yes.
So
I
it'd be
got
8 now. Yeah, okay. All right, so you throw down your torches, and eventually the oil does in fact ignite. 8 flasks of oil, which will therefore do 16d6 of damage. We don't need to roll for that. However, it's 8 flasks of oil going off in a confined area.
That we've now
And it's
directed
a
at people.
long tube,
online.
and you're
Roll
standing
back.
at the end of the tube. Now, what happens if an explosion goes off at the base of one tube? I think we have a model for that in the modern day of a musket. Okay.
Yes, I do believe we invented adventurer cannonballs.
It's a Vinny-shaped cannonball with Dougal right behind him. So, Vinny and Dougal make saving throws. Save
This
versus
is remarkably close to the last time I played D&D when I was
I
like 12.
failed my save.
It's a save versus breath weapon.
Nope.
Okay.
Just promise
So-
me you'll do less than 6 HP of damage when you hit me.
All right.
Dougal the Hairless.
So, Vinny, roll
Dougal
3d6
Barrett's.
damage against yourself.
Oh, jeez.
Hey, you can roll 3. Look at my charisma. That's 10.
I'm dead.
Well, no, you're not dead until you reach the negative of your constitution.
So I've got a 3 HP right now,
Yeah.
and my constitution is. Wait, you said a negative constitution?
Yes.
So I would have to get past 14.
Yeah,
I'd have
we'd
to exceed negative 14.
Yeah. So you're 3 and you've lost how much? Was it?
that
10.
was
10. Okay, so you're a -7, right? So yeah, you'd have to get to -14 and then you're kaput. Okay. Dougal, how much damage did you inflict on yourself?
3d6?
Yes.
Oh, I was hoping it'd be less. I had inflicted way too much.
14.
14.
Oh,
So you're at negative what?
You said you had
Negative
6?
8. Yeah,
so
negative
you're
8.
You're at -8.
-8. Right.
Mhm.
And you've got Constitution 9.
Yeah.
Militia
Somebody-
water, quick.
Somebody do first aid on Dougal now.
Yeah, I'll jump in and stabilize and cure light wounds on both of them.
Well, was it a volumetric explosion, Kyle? Did it go the other way too?
It just dissipates after the first 2 guys because they would have been about 5 feet apart.
Well, I just meant like
The other direction.
in the other direction.
No, because there was only one direction for it to go.
Oh,
You guys
okay.
didn't build a ventilation shaft or anything like that. You're not that forward thinking.
Well, I mean, the door was
Well,
ajar.
the goals themselves.
Yeah, the ghouls themselves are cinders, but yeah.
so
Or
did we
is somebody
kill
going to
all four?
stabilize? Is somebody going to stabilize Vinny?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah,
More
yeah,
water.
I would do one than the other.
Did we kill all 4 ghouls?
Yeah.
Who
they're
you
kaput.
doing first?
So,
Because it might matter.
Two of the ghouls you killed and they fell down the hole and died again when they fell down, another 30 foot and took 3d6 damage. And then another 2 perished horribly when 8 flasks of oil went off and they took 16 d6 damage. They just got rendered to ash. So those 4 ghouls that you encountered are all dead.
Woohoo!
I suggest we bar the door and get some rest. Tend to
Yeah.
ourselves.
Heal
Yeah, I
these
mean,
guys up, and
Yep.
we'll check out that cave tomorrow
Yeah, and in the next session.
in the next session.
Yeah. I'm probably going to need a month's rest after this.
Well, no, I mean, I'm
Start
curing
real
light
quick.
wounds on each of you, so I can do it again tomorrow.
Hey, Dougal,
I know.
Time I've critically wounded a character using a petrochemical explosion.
Am I
really weird.
since I'm negative hit points? Am I rolling any kind of,
health
or do
die.
I just?
No, we to quote T'Challa, we don't do that here.
No, there's no saving throw or anything like that. But what there is there's the suggestion that if somebody's reduced to -3 or below in one hit, so to speak, that there might be some long-term effects, such as horrible scarring or loss of a finger or 2 or something like that.
Dougal the Hairless.
You're both going to save handsomely on your barber bills.
So Dougal is completely hairless now. His face is
Mhm.
completely hairless. He's
Mhm.
got the Voldemort thing going.
You want to swap heads? I'll give you this one. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
no beard, no eyebrows, no hair, whatever. He's completely bald and hairless. He just got scar tissue on his forehead and face and everything. And Vinny is missing the 2 smaller fingers on his right hand. Now,
That's the badge of honor for a demolitions expert.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
when my wife and I were in Peru, this will be relevant, believe me. there were many different police forces, right? It's not like the US with county and blah, 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 but many different kinds of police. So there were the riot police, the tourist theft police, and all the rest. And most of them just hung around in the tourist areas, making sure that there weren't too many thefts from the tourists. Anyway, there was one bunch of cops, and so I used to go around, like we'd see the cops and then we'd see their badges and their sayings and that. And my wife had some conversational Spanish, so she could see what was said. Anyway, there was one bunch of cops and there was an armored vehicle. And I thought, oh, it must be a SWAT team or something like that. And I said to my wife, there's a motto there. What does that say? And she says, well, that's the bomb squad. And their motto is, your first mistake is your last.
Oh, God.
I thought their motto was, if you see me running, try to keep up.
Where I thought
mean,
that
that
was
is
going.
valid.
Yes, it is quite valid. Wow. Ghouls are only worth 65 XP plus 2 per hit point. That's pretty vicious.
None of that was
Cheesy.
worth this.
Cheesy.
So,
However, ghouls do tend to have treasure if this is their lair, so perhaps there'll be something interesting within. But you'll learn about that next week if you go back in.
Well, we brought a whole cart. We're optimistic.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Robert Phillips says, and to think all this started with a tiny fire trap.
It began and ended with fire.
Yes.
It's just that the end one was much bigger because you guys made the fire.
We
Yeah.
got to go out with a bang.
Players always
And-
manage to make an explosion somehow. Whatever
that
their
we
genre.
did.
Well,
hey, I
done,
wanna-
guys. There were some good, smart tactics there. You didn't just
Yeah,
barge in.
I
That's
just
good.
want to say that I didn't die this week, and I was very happy about that. Or maybe not. I don't know. I might want a character with more than 3 charisma, 6 int, and 6 whiz, but you know,
Like I said, yours is the only character that's going to survive till the end.
it probably
Yep.
wind up as like a laird or something. Anyway, well, thank you very much for running another exciting session, Kyle. I appreciate
Yes, thank
that.
you.
And,
That was a lot of fun.
participants, thank you all for being here tonight. Kyle
Well
will
played,
be back.
guys.
Kyle
be back
will be back Wednesday,
After
correct?
2 weeks. No.
After
No,
two.
after
that-
2 weeks, because I've got the kids' school holidays here, and it's kind of hard to run a game with a very curious 8-year-old girl who poke her head in and go, "What's that, Papa? What's that?"
I understand.
random
Yeah, I'm
questions.
just
She-
killing the
She
players
literally says, "This is a random question, Papa," but and yeah, and just if it was D&D, that would just be even more so. I've tried
Right
to
on.
teach her, but it's a bit beyond her at this stage. So.
All right.
There.
Well, we will see you on the other side, Kyle, and enjoy your downtime. Players, enjoy your downtime. We'll find something fun to do on Wednesdays, though, while Kyle's out. Never fear. Thank you again to all of my players. Thank you to our audience. We and 151 of you fine people watching tonight, and I really super appreciate that. I'm going to be back tomorrow night, and I'm feeling a little lore, a little deep dive, but we'll have to see. We'll just have to see how it goes. But listen, whether it's ghouls, whether it's other kind of creatures, at the end of the day, what you really got to watch out for are those pesky owl bears. So keep your eyes peeled for them, everybody. Love you all, and I will see you tomorrow night. Peace.
Have you seen my owl bear? Here's to all the weirdos everywhere in the woods and in the air. Have you seen my owl bear? Should I shave off all my hair? Bobs are all around. Some live in tunnels underground. Some are fat, some are rich, some are sleeping in a ditch. Can you ride a crooked horse without a saddle way off course? Naked as a toad all the way to Smoky Joe's. Have you seen the little creep driving fast in his little green Jeep? He smells like fish and brandy, but his rotten teeth look dandy. Take me to the show, I don't care if fast or slow. From action flicks to dancing dicks, just take me to the show.